The University of Georgia finished the 2018 season with a record of 11 wins and 3 losses. They capped the 2018 season off with a 2-game losing streak, gave up 14 fourth-quarter points in a 35-28 loss in the SEC championship game to the University of Alabama. Then gave up 355 yards of total offense in the Sugar Bowl when the University of Texas mopped the floor with the Georgia defense, defeating Georgia 21-28. But as the 2019 season commences, the University of Georgia returns 12 starters, 6 on offense, 6 on defense. And you know, Slim, there's an old saying in coaching, if you can block them, you can beat them. And that very well should be the case with this 2019 Georgia football team, because that offensive line, coached by Sam Pittman, should be the best offensive line in the country. They'll be led by a future first-round draft pick, the left tackle, Andrew Thomas, 6'5", 320 pounds. He's long, gifted, athletic. They have a big-time tailback coming back in this DeAndre Swift. And Jeff Fromm has to take his game to the next level and be the player that Kirby Smart envisions him to be. Jake Fromm threw 30 touchdown passes in 2018 and only 6 interceptions. Kirby Smart, going into year 2019, has his team buying into the theme. His philosophy is do more. Right. And Slim, I believe they will. In fact, I've got the University of Georgia going all the way to Atlanta. And Slim, I believe they get there 12-0.
12-0. Are you serious, Coach?
Slim, I'm serious as room service in a Motel 6.
Yeah, it's mighty good right there.
Slim, let's take a look at the Georgia schedule for 2019.
Let's do it, Coach. August 31st at 6:30 p.m., Georgia Bulldogs are on the road in Vanderbilt.
In Vanderbilt with the Vanderbilt Commodores. Derek Mason, his theme is anchor down, but it won't make a hill of beans because they're going to take a sound whipping at the hands of the Georgia Bulldogs, Georgia 1-0.
September 7th at 3 p.m., they're back home in Athens against Murray State.
Murray State University. That's a 1AA football program. There's some good football coaches come through Murray State. Frank Beamer, Denver Johnson, Houston Nutt. They're a 1AA program. Both teams are going to get what they asked for.
What's that, Coach?
Murray State's going to get a paycheck. Georgia going to get a W.
Agree. September 14th at 11 a.m., they're back home in Athens against Arkansas State.
Arkansas State, the Red Wolves of Russellville, Arkansas. And it won't make no difference. Georgia, 3-0.
Coach, they're back home in Athens September 21st at 7 p.m. against Notre Dame.
And now the plot thickens, Slim. It's a home and home that skips a year. In 2017, Georgia went to South Bend, kicked their fanny good right in front of Touchdown Jesus. They skipped a year in 2018. 2019, Brian Kelly brings the Fighting Irish between the hedges in Athens. And I think Georgia comes out unscathed. Now they 4-0.
October 5th in Rocky Top.
Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Jeremy Pruitt, going into year 2. Say one thing about Jeremy. He was smart enough to bring back the last quarterback who led Tennessee to the national championship, Tamaris Martin. But his squad's not mature enough, Slim. I like Georgia, 5-0.
October 12th, back home in Athens against South Carolina Gamecocks.
South Carolina Gamecocks. Will Muschamp, bright defensive mind, former D coordinator at University of Texas, and Mack Brown, former defensive coordinator at LSU under Nick Saban. And I think he has a good football team, and he'll eventually get that thing turned around. But I don't see it happening. I still like Georgia. And now they're 6-0.
October 19th, back home in Athens against the University of Kentucky.
University of Kentucky. Outstanding football team in 2018. Mark Stoops led them to a 10-win season. Hit hard by graduation. They'll lose Benny Snell, who went to the Steelers. They'll lose the outside linebacker, the first-round pick, Josh Allen, that went to Jacksonville. Hit hard by losses. I don't see it happening. I've got Georgia.
Coach, they about to be 8-0.
8-0. Who's next?
You know, Coach, they also lost Mike Edwards with the 99th pick to the Jaguars.
And that was a good football player as well.
Yes, sir. November 2nd, America's largest cocktail party.
The cocktail party in Jacksonville. They used to play that game, Slim, in the old Gator Bowl. Now they moved it to the Jaguar Stadium. Dan Mullen brings his Florida football team to the game, and Dan Mullen's a good football coach. Former offensive coordinator at the University of Florida under Urban Meyer. Does an outstanding job, great offensive mind, but Georgia's off and rolling right now. I think they come out of the cocktail party undefeated. I like Georgia.
November 9th, they're back home in Athens against Missouri.
The University of Missouri, Kelly Bryant got beat out at Clemson by Trevor Lawrence, transfers to the University of Missouri. Can he find redemption wearing black and gold? Offensive coordinator Derek Dooley, former head coach at the University of Tennessee. You'd think he'd know about Georgia, SEC East opponents.
Right.
But I tell you what, Slim, Georgia's off and running. I said I like him to get to Atlanta. He's 12-0, and I don't think it stops the train. I like Georgia.
Right now, Coach, they're starting to build momentum.
Well, you know what they say about momentum, Slim?
What's up?
The Temptations said, like a snowball rolling down the side of a snow-covered hill.
It's growing. Yes, sir. Moving on, Coach. November 16th, they back on the road in Auburn.
Auburn Tigers. This could be Georgia's toughest test to date when you look at it, because make no mistake about it, Gus Malzahn's back is against the wall. Last year, in Athens, Georgia hung on and won a close one. Now Georgia goes to Auburn in Jordan-Hare. I think it'll be a tough fight, but I said before, I like Georgia to go all the way, get into Atlanta, undefeated. I'm not going to change. I'm not changing horses in the middle of the stream. I think it'll be a tough, highly contested football game. I still like Georgia.
November 23rd, they back at home against Texas A&M.
Texas A&M Aggies. And Georgia hosts them. And Jimbo brings his team to Athens in year 2.
Yes, sir.
They're not quite ready yet. Jimbo won 9 games, including the bowl win, in season 1. But now he visits Athens, Georgia. Georgia's rolling. I think they whole turf, whole serve, and hang in there and beat Jimbo.
Rounding out the season, November 30th, they in ATL against Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech in the ATL. New head football coach.
Jeff Collins.
Yes,
sir.
Good football coach. Paul Johnson and the Veer offense is gone. And Jeff Collins, you know they say, rambling back from Georgia Tech's a hell of an engineer. And I'll let you in on a little secret, Slim. Georgia Tech going to take a hell of a whipping. I like Georgia. 12-0.
12-0, Coach. They going to Atlanta, represent the East, 12-0. Well, what say you, Coach, for the Georgia Bulldogs for the 2019 season? You got them buying, trying, or dying?
Slim, I'm buying Georgia lock, stock, and barrel. I say they go through the East, on the SEC side, the East, like a hot knife through butter. I like Georgia to get to Atlanta, 12-0. I'm buying the Georgia Bulldogs.
Ching. I'm right there with you, Coach. Give me the cashier sign.